former military governor of Kaduna State, retired Colonel Abubakar Dangiwa Umar, has warned President Muhammadu Buhari that his skewed appointment into federal position will bring ruin to Nigeria and will leave his administration with no record to refer to. Umar, in an open letter to the president obtained by the Eagle Online on Sunday, said history will not be kind to Buhari if he continues with his manner of appointment, which he noted had generated cause for concern among Nigerians. The blunt retired army officer said the president should be quick to draw from the lessons left behind by the administrations of late Prime Minister Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Olusegun Obasanjo military government, and late Alhaji Shehu Shagari in terms of appointments. He cited the case of the failure of Buhari to appoint former Supreme Court Justice Walter Onohe as the Chief Justice of Nigeria, despite the fact that he was qualified for the position, leading to the insinuation that this was done because he was a Christian and Southerner. He said Buhari has one more opportunity to correct the impression that he squeed in favor of a section of the country and religion with the ongoing move to fill the vacant seat of the President of the Court of Appeal. He said as it is, the most senior judge, Justice Monica Dongba Mensem, a Northern Christian, is serving out her second 3-month term as acting Chief Judge without firm prospect that she will be confirmed substantive head. He said despite the fact that he does not know Mensem, those who do attest to her competence, honesty and humility, adding she appears eminently qualified for appointment of the substantive Chief Judge of the Court of Appeal, as she is also said to be highly recommended by the National Judicial Council. If she's not and is bypassed in favor of the next in line, who happens to be another Northern Muslim, that would be truly odd. In which case, even the largest contingent of PR gurus would struggle to rebut the charges that you, Mr. President, is either unwilling or incapable of acting on your pledge to belong to everyone and not to one. I hope you would see your way into pausing and reflecting on the very grave consequences of such failure, not just to your legacy, but to the future of the great country. Is Buhari going to listen? Let us hear the full text. Open letter from Colonel Dangiwa Umar, retired, to President Muhammadu Buhari, Sunday 31st May 2020. Muhammadu Buhari, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Dear Mr. President, one of the sweetest ways of destroying a kingdom is to give preference of one particular tribe over another, or show favor to one group of people rather than another, and to draw near those who should be kept away and keep away those who should be drawn near. Sheikh Usman Danfodio. I have been prompted to write you this open letter, Mr. President, by the loud sounds of drums, singing and dancing and erupted within many groups in the last few days on the grounds that you attained the 5th year in office as President of Nigeria. It comes as no surprise that enthusiasm for the celebration is not shared equally by segments of the public. While your admirers and supporters believe you have performed well, many others believe the 5 years you have been in office as our president has not met the yearnings, expectations, and change promised Nigerians. Mr. President, you know me well enough and my position on issues to realize that I can be neither a rapid supporter nor a fanatical opponent of yours. I believe being a responsible citizen is enough reason to wish you well and to work for your success. As we have seen all too clearly these past few years, your success is as is your failure. We swim or sink with you. You might wish to recall that after the results of the 23rd of February 2019 presidential elections were announced, giving you victory, I addressed a press conference during which I urged the runner up Elijah Atiku Abubakar of the PDP to concede defeat. The reason was clear. Tensions were running high and little missteps by the leaders might ignite violence, as often happened after major elections. Some supporters of Abubakar Atiku disagreed with me and told me off. As it happened, Atiku Abubakar went ahead to mount a legal challenge to the outcome of the elections up to the Supreme Court. Mercifully, his actions did not result in an outbreak of violence as we feared. At the same occasion, I counsel the declared winner, your good self, to use the opportunity of your second term to redeem your pledge of being a leader and president of all Nigerians. On the occasion of the first year anniversary in your second 4-year term, I feel there is an urgent need to revisit this subject. Mr. President, you have often expressed the hope that history will be kind to you. It is within your competence to write that history, but you have less than 3 years in which to do it. You may wish to note that any authentic history must be devoid of myth. It will be a true, factual rendition of the record of your performance. And truth be told, Mr. President, there are quite a lot of things that speak to your remarkable accomplishment, not least of which is that for the first time in our democratic history, a sitting president was defeated. That feat was achieved by Muhammad Buhari. The reason was the public belief of you as a man of integrity. The corollary to this is that at the expiration of your 8-year tenure in 2023, your achievement will not be measured solely by the physical infrastructure your administration built. An enduring legacy would be based on those intangible things like how much you uplifted the spirit and moral tone of the nation, how well have you secured the nation from ourselves and from external enemies. At this time and in the light of all that have happened since you took office, any conversation with you, Mr. President, cannot gloss over the chaos that has overtaken appointment into government offices in your administration. All those who wish you and the country well must mind no words in warning you that Nigeria has become dangerously polarized and risks sliding into crisis on account of your administration's lopsided appointment, which continues to give undue preference to some sections of the country over others. Nowhere is this more glaring than in the leadership cadre of our security services. Mr. President, I regret that there are no kind or gentle ways to tell you that your skewed appointment into the offices of the federal government, favoring some and frustrating others, shall bring ruin and destruction to this nation. I need not remind you, Mr. President, that our political history is replete with great acts of exemplary leadership which at critical moments managed to pull this nation back from precipice and assured its continued existence. A few examples will demonstrate this. In February 1965, the NPC-led federal government was faced with a decision to appoint a successor to the outgoing Nigeria Army General Officer, commanding GOC, General Welby Everard, a Briton. 4 most senior officers were nominated, namely Brigadiers Aguiyi-Ironsi, Ogundipe Ademulegun, and Mamalare. The first 3 were senior of Mamalare, but he was deemed to be more qualified due to his superior commission. He was the first Sandhurst regular trained officer in the Nigerian Army. He's been a Muslim northerner like the Minister of Defense Alhaji Muhammad Ribadu and the Prime Minister Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa granted him added advantage by today's standards, but to the surprise of even the Igbos and opposition from some senior MPC members, Minister Ribadu recommended Ironsi, pointing to his seniority. The Prime Minister concurred, and Aguiyi-Ironsi was confirmed as the first indigenous GOC in the Nigerian army. When on 31st February 1976, the Commander-in-Chief General Murtala Muhammad was assassinated in a failed coup d'etat, General Olusegun Obasanjo, his deputy and his most senior officer at the time, was sworn in as his successor. The Chief of Army Staff, General T.Y. Dangiwa, a northern Christian, was next in line to succeed Obasanjo as the Chief of Staff, SHQ, and Deputy Commander-in-Chief. General Danjuma, however, waived his rights and recommended a much junior officer, Lieutenant Colonel Shehu Musa Yaradua, for the post. Shehu was promoted 2 steps up to the rank of Brigadier and appointed Chief of Staff, SHQ, and Deputy Commander-in-Chief. Lieutenant Colonel Muhammad Buhari was appointed Minister of Petroleum. This was done to placate Muslim North, which was deemed to have lost one of its own, Murtala Muhammad. Both the Chief of Staff, Mr. Sunday Awoniyi, and the personal physician, Dr. Ishaya Audu, to the Premier of Northern Nigeria, Alhaji Sir Amadu Bello, a direct descendant of Sheikh Usman Danfodio, were Christians. Barely 9 years after the Civil War in 1979, the MPN presidential candidate Alhaji Shehu Shagari picked an Igbo, Dr. Alex Ekweme, as his running mate. They enjoy a truly brotherly relationship as president and vice president. President Shagari's political advisor, Dr. Chuba Okadigbo, and National Assembly liaison assistant Dr. Keho Mbadiwe were both Igbos. His economic advisor, Professor Emmanuel Edozien, and his chief of personal staff, Dr. Michael Prest, were of Niger Delta extraction. Remarkably, all his military service chiefs were Christians with the exception of his last chief army staff, General Inuwa Wushishi, under whose tenure he was removed in a military coup d'etat. Mr. President, as a witness and beneficiary, it is our expectation that you would emulate this great act of statesmanship, which is why we have continued to engage with you. You may wish to recall that I had cause to appeal to you to confirm Justice Onohe as the substantive Chief Justice of Nigeria a few days before the expiration of his 3-month tenure of acting appointments to be replaced by a Muslim Northerner. We were saved that embarrassment when his nomination was sent to the Senate by the then acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo. When he was finally confirmed a few days to the end of his tenure, he was removed after a few months and replaced by Justice Muhammad, a Muslim from the north. May I also invite the attention of Mr. President to the pending matter of appointment of a Chief Judge of the Nigerian Court appeal, which appears to be generating public interest. As it is, the most senior judge, Justice Monica Dongba Mensem, a northern Christian, is serving out her second 3-month term as acting Chief Judge without firm prospects that she will be confirmed substantive head. I do not know Justice Mensem, but those who do attest to her competence, honesty, and humility. She appears eminently qualified for the appointment as the substantive Chief Judge of the Court of Appeal, as she is also said to be highly recommended by the National Judicial Council. If she is not and is bypassed in favor of the next in line, who happens to be another northern Muslim, that would be truly odd. In which case, even the largest contingent of PR gurus would struggle to rebut the charges that you, Mr. President, is either unwilling or incapable of acting on your pledge to belong to everyone and to no one. I hope you would see your way into pausing and reflecting on the very grave consequences of such failure, not just to your legacy, but to the future of our great country. Thank you for your time, Mr. President. This is a long one. You know, this man needed to be reminded of many things, even if he has forgotten. See what this man really wrote and told him. If he's going to hear, fine. If he's not going to hear, I don't think it's going to change, because people have said many things, even more than this. Only God knows the person who is going to hear his own. Someone says, Dear Colonel Umar, I think I am very sure of this, that Buhari will not hear or see what you wrote or hear anything about it. The man does not read or hear or see or hear what they want him to hear or see. Okay, someone said he has showed us who he is. It will be so difficult for Fulanis to rule Nigeria again. Mark my words. Please, sorry to say this, we just need to go our separate way. Papa, where have you been? I have been missing your wisdom in Nigeria political landscape. Thank God that the fact that I can still hear your voice and it still have not changed. Your words are still instructional and educative. I love you with all my heart. Thank you very much for reminding our leaders of the importance of history. You deserve to rule this nation, okay? I'm surprised that this man, Dangiwa, is still alive and truly himself. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning what this man has told Buhari, whether it's going to change or not. Do you believe he's going to change? I don't think so. But if you think so, let's know in the comment section. Thank you.